Hello everyone, it's Jebro, I'm back. I know I haven't done a commentary on my gameplay or a build for a long time, and this won't be specifically everything I'm doing in the game itself, but just more generally talking about Condition Engineer. So I'm using two pistols. I've gone for Scrapper, I've also gone for Firearms and Alchemy, obviously for some Condi removal, sustainability, the Elixir X proc as well. And in this fight specifically, we're going to go to farm. Me and the Necro. They've got an Elementalist on their team. They've got Warriors. They've got Necros. They've got Dragon Hunters. So we know that a mid fight, a sustained team fight, is not going to be good for us. So here we get a nice first kill on the Necro. And you can see on my toolbelt skill, that I'm using three gyros, stealth gyro, bulwark, and purge gyro, and that is for condition removal, damage, power damage mitigation, and stealthing and kite me away and to help me survive. Obviously, that kind of replaces Elixir S in a way, and I know you're going to say it's not an elite, but still it helps me a lot because obviously I'm going to be fairly squishy in this build. And you can see there, it helps me to get a res. It's still useful. Still useful for resing, still useful for kiting away, still useful for survival. I'm using the Balthazar rune as well as either Rabid or Wanderers. So for condition duration on Wanderers, and then more toughness and precision and condition damage on Rabid as well. So fairly, they're not too far away in terms of stats for each other, but a little bit more Condi duration comes out obviously on Wanderers. But anyway. The comp isn't great. We've got two Necros, another Scrapper, and a DH and me. And the other Scrapper is... I'm not sure if it's meta, to be honest. It's a bit different. Let's just say that. Anyway, you can see as well on the screen that I'm streaming. This is one of my streamed games as well. And in terms of what's going on at the moment, we've got sides. This is what we should be doing from the start as well. Or just spreading between the three caps because... they've got more of a sustained team fight. We haven't. I'm also playing a very squishy build, a condition build as well. So, massive team fights aren't always going to be that great for me because I can get picked off on the side quite easily, especially by a Dragon Hunter or even just a Necro that maybe wants to just corrupt me a bit or just lump me with a ton of conditions because I've still, even though I've got Alchemy, which I really needed for this game specifically, it's not a ton of condition removal, and you can see, that after a while with only 15.9 KHP, when those conditions get lumped on me, I'm going to be screwed because I've not got that much vitality. So when you versus a ton of condition builds, you want to obviously have more vitality for that. If you're versus power, then obviously toughness is good because obviously, it's not going to ignore your armor like conditions damage does. So that stat is almost horrible versus any condition build. So I want to try not to enter any fights as possible versus condition builds. But still, as long as I can out-condition damage them, I should be okay. Because, I know Necro's obviously health pool is quite high. With Warrior, it's the highest in the game. So you've still got to be careful because they've still got HP. But yeah, so anyway, as we go over towards the midpoint, you can see I walk into a trap and that was just dumb. And you might also say another dumb thing is the fact that I've not got Flamethrower, I've not got tools, because I've just gone for more survivability. I've not gone for the maximum amount of damage here that I could go for, because Flamethrower is ridiculously stronger than it was back in the day. It's been buffed over time. They've added, burn damage to a lot of the actual abilities as well, like Air Blast, for example, which is absolutely fantastic. I think it's got, it's got 2 burning stacks that you can add, as well as, I think they've just buffed the Flamethrower in general. They've buffed so much of it. I mean, Napalm is really good now, but adding the burn stacks to Air Blast is good. I don't think we had that before, in all honesty. I can't remember exactly when that was changed. But all this damage that comes out from, obviously, the blind from Smoke Vent is fantastic for downing opponents, as well as just, mitigating damage, trying to blind them to make sure they're not able to attack you and whatnot. So there's just the obvious things. Obviously, Incendiary Ammo is adding a couple more extra burn stacks as well. So another 2 burn stacks. And if you've got Blowtorch, for example, and you use it with that, you can get a ton of extra burning damage, which is absolutely ridiculous. So Blowtorch actually gives you 4 stacks of burning. It all depends on your the distance you're away from your target, of course. You want to be closer. So within 200, it gives you 4 stacks. So obviously, if you use Incendiary Ammo, you get 6 stacks. And if you crit, after that, it adds and adds and adds and adds. So there's a lot of damage you can come out with Flamethrower. So this is more survivable. So please note that. I know, because I know what people are going to say in the comments. You should use Flamethrower. You should use tools. Because obviously in tools, you can recharge your tool belt skills a lot quicker. Like literally, if that's the only one you've used, you can recharge quicker. You can get your charge back. But I will go through the builds and I will talk about them in depth in more detail, because I want to talk about the game if I possibly can as well. Because at the moment I'm just talking randomness. Let's just admit that to ourselves right now. Anyway, waterfall caps in our favour. Mid is looking fairly good. 3v1. I needed to move out. These two guys ain't giving up the ghost. They're not going to leave. Why am I still here? Is probably what you're saying to yourself if you're just watching the game. And it's just because I didn't trust them. Literally, because you can see why one of our players goes down. They're not being very cautious, even in a 3v1. It's like because they think, it's just going to go down. So I stay there because I just want to make sure that the points caps. And this is what part of my problem as well around gold and the skill level I'm currently playing with in the NA specifically, is the fact that I feel like I have to +1 almost, even plus an outnumbered fight sometimes. And sometimes that's really, really awful. And in this case, it was bad. It was not a good thing I should have done. And I've been learning my lesson about that a lot more. So now it's me and a Necro versus me and a Warrior and a DH. Not the most fantastic matchup in the world, mainly because I'm also not using Scrapper. And I don't think the Necro is actually running like mainly corrupt build anyway, so we'll have to wait and see how we do in this fight. Pretty sure it goes down. It does indeed. So that's not bad. At least I'm technically right. So we're kind of squishy. We've not really got that much support for each other. The Warrior, you know what Warriors are about. They're about to sustain. The Guardian and the Warrior can remove a lot of conditions between themselves on their own anyway, so they're able to sustain through that fight quite easily. And yeah, there you go. Unfortunately, towards the end of that fight, the Warrior seems to be bugged, and not bugged, but lagging. So I take the advantage of that, which is a bit cheeky, and get a cheeky kill. And in the end, we get this capture point as well. So I feel a little bit bad about that, but take advantages where you can. As you can see, my healing type did set on fire. Then I've got Balthazar rune, which means on my heal skill, I add 2 stacks of burning, as far as I can remember. I'm pretty sure that's right. Basically when I use my skill. So if I've got someone after me, or if I'm trying to kite away and they're following me quite closely behind and they're quite low HP themselves, they may actually have to disengage because I've added some burning stacks to them as well. So it's good. My heal is good pressure, if that makes sense. So even in a rotation, sometimes I plop down my heal. I don't blast it, just because I'm going to get that cooldown a lot quicker anyway. Obviously, if you blast your healing turret, the cooldown extends. If you don't, it doesn't, and it's quite low. And I know I'm not going to need that heal in the future, or I feel like I can use another ability to sustain myself as well. I will use my healing turret and my damage rotation to even give myself more damage in terms of burning condition damage anyway. Blowtorch is ridiculously good. I kind of use that at the maximum range just to, make sure he bleeds out. And then we're off and away again. I'm actually using Torment as well as Hydromancy, I want to say. Just to add a different condition. Torment's nice, if they move. It's just extra pressure, it's extra condition damage. And if they cleanse a burn, then they're going to cleanse the stacks as well. So it's like, I want to keep the pressure on somehow. And Poison is obviously quite strong in this build as well, because I've got Pistol 2, we've got Elixir gun as well with the Fumigate. So, things like that are going to add to my overall condition damage in the end as well. So you've got to think about your build in terms of everything. I don't want to just focus on burning, because I can just get rid of that condition as well. So the application of burning is quite fantastic. Free cap here. They did kill our boss. I missed quite a lot that's gone on in the map. The problem is they went for our Lord, and as they had the advantage, they had a 2 cap. They actually went to the Lord, thinking that they were, I'm not sure why they did that, because a lot of people are doing this at the moment. They're just going for the Lord when they feel like they've got an advantage of a 2 cap, and they seem to be going for that a lot more often at the moment. This is pretty much the last fight of the game. They died, or they didn't kill the Lord. They went to mid, and then we're obviously able to snowball the map back in our favor on kills. I am 1v2. No one is here with me. I'm versus an Elementalist and a Drenkanunner. I am loading this guy up Doesn't feel like he's actually got that much Condi removal. I do end up landing right into that trap, which is not great. So I'm obviously crippled, a bit of damage on myself. I'm able to kind of burst him down there as well. Not got much left. I use my blowtorch at close range. And I use my gyro to down him. There's no need for you to go in for the down yourself if you have your gyro available. There's no need to do that. And you can see the amount of pressure that is still on the Elementalist. I use his down corpse as a way to pressure the Ellie. I don't want to down him too quickly, and then I end up killing the Ellie as well. Don't forget to like this video because it very much supports myself. I'm going to do a build video in future. It's really just to let you know that I'm coming back to YouTube a lot more than recently as well, rather than just little updates here and there and just, you know, random clips. I'm kind of back a bit. Let me know if you liked this video. If you did, please like the video. If you didn't, please dislike it. Please tell me why. Talk about the build. How do you feel about Condition Engineer? I'll see you again in the future. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon.